up, y'all? This is Lance, and I'm back with another installment of Market Markup. Excuse the wait time in between. I'm in the mood to probably crank out a bunch of videos coming with a bunch of markups. Kind of realizing that it's more beneficial to do it that way as opposed to doing one a week because I mean I pretty much have to put it out no later than a day after doing the video. But anyway, Lance of BH Capital Enterprises, thank you for watching. Please, if you have not already done so, do me the favor and yourself the favor of subscribing to my channel. Hit that notification bell, hit the like, dislike, whatever you feel compelled to do. If you would like to see me do a market markup on any other ticker, feel free to let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to do that. I recently did WWE for someone who commented and requested that in the comment section. So I definitely like to accommodate as much as I possibly can. And I can't watch the entire market, so you guys may know of some great tickers or some tickers that may hold some opportunity that are just not on my radar. I've kind of pigeonholed myself into watching just a few choice tickers on a regular basis. TSM is not one of those. However, I am kind of familiar with this one. I've traded options on it in the past. This is not any type of investment advice. Please consult a financial professional, financial advisor, what have you, in order to uh, get the information that you need. I'm just doing this for fun. Looking at charts is something that I really, really thoroughly enjoy doing. So just thought I'd, get one knocked out since it's been a couple of weeks since I've done one. Make sure you go back and check out the old market markups and compare those to what I stated in the video and pull up the chart and watch that price action from the date of that video until, present time. Um, Off the top of my head, Costco uh, ran a good 40 plus points. Estee Lauder ran pretty good. Netflix has just been chilling. I did that one pre-earnings, but Netflix was chilling when I did that, and after earnings, it dipped down to the low 500s. Haven't looked at Netflix since then. And then uh, Ulta actually is one that in the video I stated that Ulta would move down to the teens area in the $300 range. So I forget the exact price range that I gave, but it was somewhere between 310 and 320, well, 319 actually. And that would be an area of interest where I would consider picking up calls. So Ulta bounced down to that range, or fell down to that range, and then bounced up to as high as $334 so far. So just a quick cycling through to let you guys know, give you guys an idea of what you'll be looking for in those old videos. But anyway, let me just go ahead and jump on into TSM. So I typically start with a broad view when I'm doing my technical studies. So I start with a yearly chart and I work my way down to, an intraday chart or whatever chart, depending on um, my outlook for that company. So if I'm, for example, if I was looking at leaps on TSM, then I wouldn't really care about the intraday charts generally, unless I was considering, okay, I want to get in on this day, and it looks like the market's going to take a dip based on the intraday chart, so this is where I want to get in. Just a quick, you know, just a little insight into, how I do things. But yeah, so obvious phase two structure here on the yearly chart. So every candle that you see represents 1 year of price action. We all know how crazy 2020 or last year was. This year, it did have a nice move up to that all-time high of 142.2. But the bears definitely stepped in and forced that price action down back toward where it opened this year. So far we have a shooting star or an inverted hammer happening, but we still have the rest of the year to go. So just because this candle looks like this now does not mean that that's how it will look toward the end of the year. So just something to, kind of keep your eyes on and peep in on it every, maybe quarter or so, just to see how, price action is changing over time. So, um, with the price being so close to 2020's close, that's definitely a level that I would personally make note of. So I'm actually going to do that right now. So the close of 2020 was 109.04. So I put my price level pretty much right there, and I can of course go into this actual settings and see. Okay, so I wanted to show on the right actually. So it's 119.04. So I like to make sure that my numbers are the exact number. So boom, that'll be a pretty hard level that I would be, keeping an eye on. And it's definitely important to consider the fundamental um, catalysts that are impacting this company, not only this company but this industry. But that's not necessarily the focus of this video. But just a little a little bit of encouragement for you guys that are watching. So make sure you go and check out what's happening with the semiconductor industry right now, on the so-called bearish side and the bullish side. So definitely some important things to consider, and to watch out for any pieces of news that could come out in the future that would have either a bullish or a bearish impact on this price action. So far, TSM, the low for this year has been slightly below 2020's close. So far, that area, that high 109, 107, pretty much 107 to 110's area has held this year. So, um, without even seeing the subsequent charts that I'm gonna look at, that area would have been a great area to buy calls. I'm not sure when it dipped, or when it was at that low. I'm assuming that maybe that happened toward the beginning of the year, where it kind of opened, pushed down just a little bit, and then it shot up. But I could be wrong because, like I said, I don't really follow TSM on a regular basis, so I really wouldn't know just looking at this chart. But I'm sure the some of the other charts will give me some insight into that information. But yeah, so until we see some consolidation or something like that, the sentiment overall remains bullish on TSM. So, news of those supply constraints being worked out, the company being able to handle demand, uh, even more demand. Those are important pieces of news to factor in, regardless of um, when you're trading TSM, or how long you plan to be in a TSM trade, or whether you're holding shares of TSM. And I forgot to mention, I don't own any shares of TSM at this time. Uh, so, um, yeah. And I was going to say something else. Um, yeah, so my big question that I have, and I'm going to pose this question to you guys also, is as far as the market is concerned, specifically how the market will react, how the market um, takes the news of high demand, low supply versus high demand and the company being able to meet those supply constraints. So on one hand, it's like, are the markets will the markets try to price in simply the demand and ignore the whole fact that there's some supply constraints going on. So it's like, okay, well, is that demand simply due to the supply issue? So supply drops and kind of forces some, or creates some, quote unquote artificial demand. But we see in the markets that a lot of that chips are becoming more and more and more important in our everyday lives, with big data, and everything is about big data. So, I just kind of wonder, I just wonder how the markets feel about all this demand for chips, yet the inability exists and remains so far for this company, for the industry to produce enough to keep up with what's being demanded. So still trying to figure that out. You feel free to lend your thoughts. I'm happy to hear that. I don't necessarily have an opinion on it right now. But so my question is genuine. I'm not trying to trip anybody up or anything like that. But anyway, moving on to the monthly chart and see what we see. All right, so monthly chart, as you can see, um, going back to my question about when it dipped in March, dipped right down to 2020 closing range, and um, I won't say bounced hard, but the Bulls stepped in and defended 2020 close basically. So that's what this is showing so far. But what I'm noticing on this monthly chart is a series of lower highs. So, the high for the month of February was 142.2. The high for the month of March is 133. The high for the month of April is 127.4. And so far, the high for this month has been 117.55. So, clear decline in each month's high. And of course, just because the high is 117.55 right now for May does not mean that that's going to continue to be the case. But one thing that I will do as I am um, looking at this is, you know, uh, draw a little trend line, and I really probably would start here. Draw a little trend line, just to show kind of what that sentiment is, that overall sentiment for the month, for the year of 2020. So a series of higher lows. But what I'm also seeing is the past, well, not the past 2 months, but during the month of February to March, there are higher lows. So that's something that I would likely make note of as well. So just going to draw another trend line there, and show, kind of, so you guys can kind of follow along and see what I'm looking at. Um, Really, uh, another thing that I'm seeing here is this. Um, so potential bull flag or bull pennant, going on this monthly chart. Um, but what I need to basically happen in order to pretty much verify this bull pennant is I need the price to break out above this trend line within the next maybe month, 2 months, maybe 60 to 75 days or so. This needs to break out above this trend line here. So sentiment needs to change. And basically I need the price to stay relatively above this trend line here. So um, we'll see, how the month of May continues to shape up. If it does fall below this white trend line, I'd be looking for the price to test that 2020 close area once again. Um, and it may just do that. And if it does do that and breaks down below this lower trend line, we still have a potential bull flag in play. So um, I would say if the price breaks this trend line here, then we can see. Let me do a little calculation here. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. I'm tripping. I'm doing my calculations and coming up with numbers lower than 100, and it was throwing me off because I was thinking that. Never mind. So I'm gonna see if I get some correlations here. Um, so the I'm not even gonna worry about the 2.5%. I'm gonna do the 5%. So 135.09 represents the 5% pullback area. So that actually almost lines up with January's high. So let me get my price levels back. Alright, so 135.09. We're gonna go up here. And again, I'm going to edit my properties. 135.09. 5% pull back on the left. Boom. Oh, I meant to show that so I know what it's there for. Not even sure. Oh, okay. I put it on the right. I need to put it on the right. Okay. Alright, so 5% pullback is at 135.09. And let me do my 10%. Obviously, TSM is in correction territory, I'm pretty sure. $127.98. So about that area, we'll do another price level, which pretty much almost lines up with April's high. Yeah. So 127.98 is the correction level. Correction, we're going to show it on the right. So roughly 128. Alright, and then I want to see where my bear territory is, bear market territory. $113.76. So definitely a level to watch, which pretty much lines up again with April's low. 113.76. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do the same thing here. We're gonna show on the right. Let's see, what was my number? 113 something 76. Like I said, I like for my numbers to be the exact number. All right, so those are some levels that I'd be, keeping an eye on. Obviously, between this 113 to about 110 level is a demand zone. Like I said, I'd look to see if the price breaks this white trend line, the lower white trend line here, which represents the lower trend line of the bull pennant pattern. If it does that, I can definitely see it going back inside this 110 to 113 area, maybe even lower, but maybe not. So if it breaks down this 113 area, then it pretty much invalidates the bull pennant, but the bull flag is still in play at that point. Um, if it does break below this, then maybe it tests this 109 2020 close, so 109 to 107. If it breaks that, then who knows where this thing is going? Maybe under 100, and that's where we see, a pretty decent pullback, as much as probably 35% or so. But let me just do a quick calculation. So a 35% pullback, a 35% drop from the all-time high would put the price at 92.43. So let's do, I'm going to do 30. So 99.54. So that's a level that I would mark. And it almost kind of lines up with December, near the lows of December. So that's not what I want to do. So we're going to just call this 30%. Show on the right. It's 99.54, I think I said. Yeah, 99.54. Get my colors and all that good stuff the way I want them. Alright, boom. Okay. So yeah, though these will be the levels that I'm watching, near term. So pretty much right now, most of the price action for 2021 has been between this correction bear market territory area. So between the 10 to 20% pullback, uh, 10 to 20% drop off the all-time highs is pretty much where Taiwan Semiconductor um, has been trading. So bull flag and a bull pennant are not the only possibilities here, because this price could just continue consolidating right out of this zone, and who knows, how long that could happen. So we obviously have transitioned from that phase two markup to now possibly phase three, where the price tends to consolidate before the next move, whether it be a move up or whether it be a move down. But if indeed this bull flag or bull pennant turns out to be a bull pennant or a bull flag, then I'm going to do a quick calculation on estimated price movement. So assuming a bounce here and I like to keep my estimates on the conservative side. So if it does in fact turn out to be a bull flag or bull pennant, then this price could easily see over 200. And of course, um, this would take some time, as we are looking at a monthly chart. So this could take several months to play out. But like I said before, there are some important catalysts that I will be watching for in the news. And the technicals will hint at news coming down the pike, um, before that news actually happens. So it's just something that you would have to keep your eyes and ears open for. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that I see possibly on this monthly chart. Either way, we'll see something. We'll see some resolution within the next before June is out. I'll say before June is out, we'll see something. We'll see this price move out of this area. Mm, all right, let's just check out the weekly chart. All right, so you can see it a little better here on the weekly chart. What I'm, talking about, or what I was speaking about in the uh, with the monthly chart that I had up. So, um, yeah, the same narrative technically is still going on. Like I said, we should see some resolution out of this area before June is out. So, um, it's still early May, so it's definitely got some time, and each candlestick represents 1 week, so it's not like you're going to see a ton of candlesticks here. But just another thing to keep your eyes on. Like I said, I definitely, for me personally, when I'm looking at something that's trending a certain way, I make note of where that overall trend is in terms of the price. And then as far as sentiment changing, I look for a breach of that trend line. So if I'm seeing that, perfect example, when I drew um, the trend line on the monthly chart, in that case, I will be watching for a breach to the upside of this trend line. So right now it's trading toward the lower end of that. And so, of course, like I said before, I'd be watching to see if the price can break below this bear market territory area, or enter a bear market, um, or if it just kind of consolidates in here. Looking here, seeing overall draw volume has been dropping the past few weeks, so I'd be, paying attention to that volume as well to see if that volume starts to, pick up a little bit. Um, Me personally, I probably would prefer to swing TSM, and of course, this is not investment advice. I would probably prefer to swing TSM at the extremes. So, what I mean by that is, you see, when it came into this demand area, the price shot up pretty good, almost toward the all-time high, but it shot up to about the mid 130s before it dropped again. So, came into this 109 to 113 area, shot up to all the way to 135-ish. Then it pulled back down to about the low 120s before it took off again toward the all-time high. And in this case, when it hit that all-time high, it dropped all the way back into this demand zone, and shot up again. But this time it didn't shoot up as high as this time. So it's kind of like it's shooting up, you know, lower. Um, so again, just watching for what happens in this area to see if it gets back down into this zone. I'm actually going to set a price alert personally. Actually, I'm going to just do that right now through my mobile app. I'm going to say price below 113.76. Okay, boom. So you see my alert has been triggered. 113.76. Okay. All right, so I was triggered. Okay, so my alert has been triggered, not triggered, but set. So when if this alert gets triggered, then I know exactly what's going on. I can refer back to my charts, and I can reevaluate from there to determine, hey, what what's what could possibly happen. So historically, at least for 2021, when it gets inside that 109 to 113 area, it tends to shoot up. Not saying that that'll happen the next time it gets into that range, because it could very well break down and go down further. But this 113 level is definitely a significant one, um, in the recent several weeks. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm seeing here on the as far as the weekly chart is concerned. And I'll probably come back to this at another point to kind of see what's going on. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the daily chart and see what's happening. So okay. Not necessarily seeing any patterns at this time. Okay, so still just watching. I would probably go with my overall uh, hypothesis on the weekly chart that I just discussed, really. Actually, I want to. Okay, so very important to note is that TSM is currently trading below its 50-day moving average. So the 50-day moving average is currently at 119.59, and TSM is below that. And as you can see, ever since TSM moved below the 50-day moving average back on May 4th, it has failed to break above that moving average. So you can see the bearish curve on that 50-day, and the price is just kind of creeping, seemingly creeping a little lower down to that 200-day moving average, which is currently at 102. So that 200-day is fairly bullish, but looks like it wants to probably start flattening out a little bit. But it's really not that far off in the grand scheme of things. So definitely keep an eye on those two moving averages, at least on the daily chart, just to see how they continue to develop as the days drag on. Um, what else can I say, really? What else can I say, really? Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it when it comes to TSM. At least that's pretty much all I can decipher right now, as it's pretty late, as you can see, and I'm kind of fighting sleep. But um, for now, watching inside this 113 to 109 level, maybe even down to 107, um, and kind of seeing what happens inside there. If I feel like, if I get a signal or a sign that the price is going to bounce out of that area once again, then I'd probably be looking to grab some calls, maybe out to about late June. Uh, let's see. Let me look at some contracts. Late June, my price target for late June, it honestly, it I would not go very far out of the money. So looking at June 18 expiration, yeah, maybe the 120s to 125s, but I really probably wouldn't go beyond that. Um, the 130s are pretty cheap, but again, I I just really, I probably wouldn't want to. I wouldn't feel comfortable going out 130 on an expiration on TSM that's 46 days out. So just gonna watch until it gets inside an actual demand zone, and then reevaluate at that point for calls. But if I don't get any kind of signal that the price is going to bounce out of that area, so like volume picking up and stuff like that, or the and or candlesticks getting a reversal pattern somewhere, then I may consider a move to the downside, some puts, um, probably out to the same time frame, but I probably wouldn't be looking to hold puts for that long, to be honest with you. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you get something out of this. I hope I get something out of this. Um, be sure to stick around for more content. Check out my old content. I'm trying to focus a lot more on charts, as you can see recently, and how that translates in real life, and how you can, use charts to help assist you with becoming a better trader, or enhancing your current skill set. So hit me up if you have any questions about my offerings. I partnered with By the Hood and did an intro to price action course over there, and that's a pretty good, helps to lay a really 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 solid foundation for your um, your foray or segue into technical analysis. Um, I have a workshop, a live seminar coming up next month. Wow, time just flying. Next month, I partnered with Onyx Wealth Solutions, Sharika. We're going to be doing a live seminar in Raleigh, North Carolina. So we're taking the HTOA workshop on the road. We've got some seats left. We're going to be doing it, like I said, in Raleigh. The dates are June 18th through the 22nd, in which the 18th and the 22nd should be used as travel days for the people that'll be traveling out of town, from out of town. And Sharika and I both will be traveling from out of town. Um, the actual seminar will be on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So Saturday and Sunday are just straight classroom demos and all that good stuff. And then Monday, we're going to practice in the live market. So it'll be a good time. We're really gonna really hone in on trader psychology and how you can make your mental um, makeup your ally instead of your enemy. So uh, gonna discuss and discuss how you can become your best asset, your own best asset. So not me versus me, it's me and me versus whatever outside of us. So uh, if you have questions, that workshop is $1,200. It includes the price of lunch. All 3 days will be feeding those who attend, lunch only. The hotel provides hot breakfast, so you don't have to worry about that. You'll just, whenever you want to go eat dinner, you have to go out and, do what you want to do on that front. So the $1,200 does not include the cost of the hotel, so that's just the cost of the ticket. If you are a couple, you can get a discount. So instead of paying 2,400, you pay 2,000. So we had, some people couple up and do it that way. But again, hit up Sharika over at Onyx Wealth Solutions, or hit up myself if you want to get a ticket. We'll be happy to meet you there. Um, like I said, please subscribe, like, share, be paying attention. Somebody watch this thing with me, because I forget a lot. Because if it's not on my regular watch list, I tend to forget. But I got my price alert, so hopefully that'll safeguard against my forgetfulness when it comes to tickers outside of my regular watch list. But I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.